Hello.
A jigga jigga.
Yes, as somebody I work with did a song, and Jordan, I wanted his musical opinion on it, and he seems rather taken with the elements of it.
A jigga jigga.
What happened here then, eh?
I don't know, but it's zero gravity. It's
Uh,
reduced gravity, sorry.
yeah, I had a little look around. It looks very Event Horizon.
Oh, I've not seen that film still. I keep meaning to, but
No, I've never seen it. It's one of those things that looks interesting, and I've only really seen videos of.
oh, there's an elevator.
There's an awful mess, isn't it? An awful mess. Ah,
I don't think
ah,
the elevator would
ah.
go.
Down, down.
So, anyway, yes, I've got some interesting development for us in terms of
Down.
here. Something interesting has happened here for
Mm,
us.
what do you mean?
We got a new follower on YouTube.
Who?
Someone called John, who I can't remember the last name of, and it's probably best I can't remember the last name because that's
Thank you,
probably quite a
John.
big, yeah. Good old John. We were on 28. We dropped down to 27. We're back onto 28
Understandable.
again. Yeah, it's absolutely
Look at that.
understandable.
Look at that floating
That's a
there.
miracle. Holy shit nuggets! Look at this.
Yeah,
Look at
it's
this mess.
this is very Event Horizon. This bit. I don't know where you are. I mean, it's sort of a bit of a kerfuffle, isn't it?
I'm at the door that you can open, the airlock door. I wonder if we can open the other side. Oh my god, Ben! Please tell me we can open.
Um, that doesn't seem very safe.
It's nice knowing you, good buddy. Oh, how come I'm dead but you're not?
Pretty.
That to me seems like a perfect place to put all the rubbish.
Yeah. Fuck it. I'm coming, Elizabeth. I can't. They won't let me die.
Is that your impression of Red Fox?
Yeah. Is that? Is
Ah.
that?
And, I mean, my oh shit! Oh my god! That I did not know that was a thing.
What?
Are you dead yet?
No.
No, I need to come and meet you.
May
I'm
I
coming to get
open?
you.
Open the door. Whether you can. The controller's inside. Or
It
one of
is
the
a bit weird, isn't it?
Well, I suppose it helps in case of an emergency.
Where are you? Where are you?
And by the airlock, I'm seeing.
No, stay there. Stay there. Stay there.
Okay.
Let me find something funny to do this with. That's not very funny at all. Uh, right. You looking? You looking?
Uh-huh. Ah!
I threw it at you. Like I literally threw it at you.
How do I throw it?
Press E.
I don't have an E.
Whatever the equivalent of E is.
Not that. Not that.
Not that.
Not that. Not that. Not that.
While you do that, I'm just gonna reply to a message.
Not that.
A jigga jigga. There you go. Oh, I missed.
Well, I didn't throw. I let go, but I had to run with it.
Oh, I just pressed the button and it froze it. The let go button. It seems. If you...
So I want to do a very quick topic, but it's one that made me laugh.
Okay.
I got a comment on my Noel Gordon video, which is not an uncommon occurrence. Every now and then, someone sort of stumbles upon things after the rush and comments
That's okay.
something, and I check regularly for any new ones. Now, this one I found very noteworthy, and I want to read it to you in its entirety before I really analyse it.
Okay.
We lived in Murray Court, next door to Nolly's place, and she parked her Rolls Royce in the garages at the back of ours. She was a lovely woman, and I'll tell you something now. When she died, the whole area nosedive, because the last of the whites only stayed because of Nolly.
Jesus
I
Christ.
know. I read that first bit, and it was like, oh, that's sweet. That's a nice. Oh my god.
It's a racist post.
It does remind me of that bit in I'm Alan Partridge, where he has the party at the Linton Travel Tavern because he's leaving, and he invites that guy who's just sort of about and staying there, and he asks, they're making small talk, and he asks him, "Oh, how do you find London?" And he goes, "Oh, it's all right. A few too many blacks," and it's and they asked him to leave. That's That's not what that reminded me.
Yeah, no, that feels an appropriate thing to be reminded. Oh shit! Wait, the cans are leaving. Oh, I just want to do an experiment, Ben. Let's see what happens to all the stuff. Because I was dead.
There we go.
But that is a very effective way of getting rid of it all.
Mm-hmm. Well, I will help. What are you doing?
Sorry, I'm replying to something.
He's negotiating with his... Who is it?
It's a potential model for a extracurricular activity.
Don't say it like that, it sounds dirty.
It is. For captioning stuff. You know this. We talked about this. So someone who... but I can't go into too much detail because you don't want to know, really. But I have asked what sort of accessories they have to assist with
Oh
posing.
my lord. Well, get some bodies up in this bitch. Yes, that comment sort of sums up a portion of my fan base, to be honest. I think there are a few people who see it as I see it, but I think the vast majority of people are older people who are sort of in it for the nostalgia and not really caring about the content, just like the fact somebody's talking about stuff from their younger years.
Yeah, that makes sense. Makes a lot of sense because people are like that, aren't they?
Mm.
Oh shit! We need a yaddled one.
A yaddled?
Yeah, yaddled.
What's a yaddled?
Oh no, it's when you yaddle something.
What's the yaddled?
Oh my god! I didn't know there was all this mess around here as well. There's another way up, Ben.
Where are you?
I went further round.
Oh, this way.
I didn't know there was a way up here as well. Where does this lead? Does this mean do you think we'll find? Oh, it's back here. Okay.
Yeah, it'll all just loop around.
I thought there was another doorway. I thought it was extra stuff. Did you see the gun?
Yeah.
Okay. How do you? Oh no.
Equip.
Yeah, like I'll listen to like Watch Mojo and shit because it's just about games and films and shit, and it's I can drown out what I'm doing, and they're only like 10 minutes long, so they're not a commitment. It's like I've always said with your videos, with the exception of a tier one, which I've expressed my reason for not watching.
You don't have to watch it.
No, but with the exception of a tier video,
yeah,
I'll watch the others. I just need to committing the time to it is.
Well, that's very generous.
A bigger deal.
And understandable. I mean, that tier video. I mean, the entire purpose of that tier video was really just to give people something, and I'll probably do another one before the next mainline video is done. That's proving a fucking nightmare because sources are always really difficult, and I've got 3 documentaries that would be so fucking useful, and I cannot find them anywhere.
Hang on, did you jettison?
No. Very personal question. No, the beatbox is still.
Oh, okay.
Beatboxing. Where is the beatbox?
I don't know, but it's going.
I hear it.
Bye.
Ah. That was more violent than I thought it would be. I thought I'd be sucked out.
Isn't it? You were hoping. Oh, God's sake. This is proving more troublesome than it's meant to be. I apologise for... Oh, wait, the beatbox is floating around in here.
The little bastard.
Yeah, that's not what we wanted. Not what we wanted at all. But you know what it's like.
Okay. So I have another topic I want to do.
Okay, go on.
It's the longest one I've got because it requires a lot of explanation. Unfortunately.
Okay, you are welcome to.
So while you text your
potential
your
model.
Your chartered accountant in Bristol who has a weird fetish. That's pretending to be some Russian model or something.
No, I don't think they're pretending to be anything. Well, I mean,
Are you aware of this new Richard III documentary?
no.
Okay.
That wasn't a not. Oh, it was a genuine. I don't know, but obviously it sounded a bit like no.
Well, okay. So you remember Richard III was discovered under that car park by a lady called Philippa Langley, who is a member of the Richard III Appreciation Society. Right. Well, she's done a new documentary where she's arguing that not only did Richard not kill the princes in the tower, but the two great pretenders of Henry VII's reign, Lambert Simnel and Perkin Warbeck, were actually the princes as they claimed.
Oh, okay.
Now this documentary's had coming under a bit of criticism. It's got Philippa Langley and Judge Rinder. Now, Judge Rinder is ostensibly there because Philippa Langley wanted. Is it Philippa Langley? I think it is. She wanted a critical mind who would judge the evidence fairly and squarely. I say Philippa Langley. Channel 4, the producers wanted that to an extent. Now the evidence she presented is very, very weak. She essentially, the first one is a receipt for some spears and lances for Lambert Simnel's invasion of England, and she cites this as evidence because it's signed Richard, Prince of England or something, or yeah, it's signed with one of the name. I can never remember which one is pretending to be which, but it's signed with the name of the prince, and it said like, this is for Prince Richard's attempt to take back his throne. It's like, oh my god, it's evidence. Well, it's not. It sort of has
not really.
no. Well, it has the same problem as the other evidence she presents. One is a account ostensibly written by the other prince, who was she claims was Perkin Warbeck. He was another pretender. It's a account of what happened after he escaped the tower, and what did he do and who helped him. There's an account of him being like presenting himself to the Holy Roman Emperor and showing signs on his body that proved who he was. There might be I think there's another one too, but I think one of the crucial things about this is that this pretender conspiracy was not. Obviously, they weren't going to be like honest in some circumstances. Doesn't matter who you were. That was the party line, right? These were not just two guys used to rally disaffected Yorkists and whatnot, but actual legitimate heirs to the throne. You know, they weren't going to do a receipt and come clean and say, actually, no, that we're planning to. This is a pretender. We're supporting. This is not a real prince. Of course, they were going to argue it was.
So it's kind of a job.
Well, yeah. I mean, that's the entire point. You stick to your story. And some people, the people around him, who set this thing up, knew it was fake. But I think a lot of people just didn't give two shits. They were perfectly fine going along with this, whether or not he was a pretender. It didn't matter because they wanted to settle the scores. The Wars of the Roses was a really brutal war, over a long period of time, and people had, lots of grievances built up over time. They'd lost family members and land and power.
And money.
Yes, and one of the things that they cite is that the prince's aunt, I think it's Margaret of Burgundy, who was Richard III's sister, she supported them, and she apparently had a really good reputation. But they also mentioned that she fucking hated Henry VII because he killed Richard III. And it's like, well, of course she's going to fucking support that. And given that she probably didn't really know the princes at all, she probably would have been like fine with this, or at the very least, maybe she genuinely believed it. But it's not much evidence. Um, Lambert Simnel's story is actually like one of my favourites in history. He was just this like 10-year-old boy who all these people sort of rallied around and tried to use for their own political aims. And he lost.
Because people are bastards like that.
Well, yeah, and they lost the battle. They were beaten. The rebellion failed, and Henry VII basically pardoned Lambert Simnel because he was just a kid, and I guess he kind of wanted to appear merciful anyway. It would have been a bad look if he fucking killed a kid like that. And he gave him a job.
I'd have said do it.
He gave him a job in the royal kitchens. And the last we hear of him, he's a royal falconer, which is a very respectable gig. And I just like the idea of this guy getting to say, you know, when I was a little boy, I was very nearly king of England. I think that's a great story to tell.
Yeah,
I'm rather fond of that. Well, it's interesting that they argue that because they say Lambert Simnel was actually a prince and that all this Lambert Simnel stuff came up after the fact, they don't really have any evidence for this, but they argue that his side lost the battle and he was either killed or, you know, fled into exile somewhere, and that Henry VIII Henry VII made up that story. It's very fucking thin on the ground.
Well, I mean, let's be honest, it didn't take an awful lot for something that was sketchy to be considered fact back then.
Yes.
I mean, in some ways, it's probably a bit like being on Twitter.
Yes. I think, well, the Richard III Society has a bad reputation in general, and I think it's largely unfair. Like, Philippa Langley got a lot of fucking critics. It veered into bullying, frankly. Everybody said she was a weirdo. This weird woman who everybody said was in love with Richard III, and she was very positive towards him and very biased.
I think he had a hard time, you know. People always making jokes about him having the hump and that.
I just remember in that documentary like a really telling moment. It was presented by, he's in Horrible Histories, Simon Farnaby.
Oh yeah,
he was in this time. One. Yeah, with a big hair. Well, when they found his body and they found, he's got scoliosis. I mean, she was shocked by that, but he did like a series of Zoom calls. It was a montage with all the with loads of people in the society, and he told one of them. One of them was like pointing to the fact that all this stuff we know about Richard is clearly propaganda. For example, he couldn't have been a hunchback because he wouldn't have been able to fit into a suit of armor, and we know he was a great warrior. And Simon Farnaby said, well, actually, they found he did have scoliosis, and they said, no, that's impossible. That's just not a fact. That's not true. Like completely refusing to accept it. But he's a very wealthy man. He could afford a custom suit of armor, and it probably wasn't that bad as scoliosis.
No, it's not like, you know,
it was exaggerated by Shakespeare, but it existed.
But I just want to know how much he'd really pay for a horse.
But I think that this case that she puts forward is, it's obviously fucking weak as anything, but it's probably the best case you probably could put forward for that theory. I don't think it's true in the slightest.
You don't need to. Someone else will.
No, it's a bit weird that if her version of events is true, why didn't the princes like meet up or something? They went like one at a time, like villains in a Bruce Lee film. It's like, that doesn't really make a lot of sense.
You got me thinking about that scene in Austin Powers Goldmember,
yeah,
where Michael Caine is fighting the henchman. It's like, okay, no, right, let's do this.
Also, they found, oh my lord, I've got a big ball. Also,
I wish I had a big ball. I've only got one little one.
Also, they found, this is mentioned at the start, and is considered by many to be like clear fucking evidence that they're dead. Or were killed in the tower. But in the 1600s, workmen were excavating part of the Tower of London and found the skeletons of 2 children under some stairs.
Not ideal.
And oh fuck! What did you do?
Turned on with gravity.
Um, no, ah, now Elizabeth II was asked for permission to DNA test these bodies, and she refused because she didn't want to disturb them.
Understandable.
But Charles apparently at the time indicated that he would be interested in doing that, and I think it would be really funny if this documentary created enough academic resurgence in this issue that they persuade him to do that, and it proves that they are the Princess and the Tower, and suddenly the Richard III Society has to fucking. I mean, they'll always argue that if if they prove they died in the tower, it'll be well, Richard didn't kill them, you know. And if it proves that they were brutally murdered, as the sources suggest, you know, by they smothered them with pillows. If we could somehow prove that, and I don't know whether you could, I don't think you could, then it'll be, you know, Richard. It wasn't Richard. It was somebody else. And it
He
really,
had henchmen
yes, he didn't know anything
and
about
men who
it.
were hench.
Yeah, he didn't know anything about it. He was a good man, and he probably argued against it.
An honourable man.
Yes, yes. It's just like at a certain point, you have to acknowledge that your fave is problematic.
Yeah, no, it's true.
So yeah, that's the Richard III documentary. But it was like an hour and a half, and Judge Rinder got a lot of fucking criticism online for it.
Well, he gets criticism for all sorts, doesn't he?
Because the evidence there is no fucking evidence whatsoever there. I mean, it's a really weak circumstantial case. And Philippa Langley was like, "Oh my god, this is groundbreaking," but it's not. I'm sorry, Philippa. I think you got a hard rap, but it's really not groundbreaking.
Honestly, that'll teach you.
Uh,
Don't know what it'll teach you, but it'll teach you.
yeah, I mean, at the end, he basically came out and said, "I think you presented enough evidence to suggest that it is not only possible but probable."
And because he's a judge, even if it is small claims court and he's no Judge Judy or executioner, well, any idea what went to do with his big ball? Because it can't fit through.
Well, unhinge your jaw.
Well, if only.
That was a dirty joke.
No. Let's do a thing. I have got a question for you.
Yes.
Why has Stockton been in the news lately?
Stockton Rush.
Nope. Stockton North.
Because they elected a penguin, the mayor.
Nope. Nothing that fun.
They elected an earthworm, the mayor.
Nope. I'll give you one more guess and then I'll tell you.
Does it have anything to do with an animal that was elected mayor?
It does not.
Then why the fuck are we talking about it?
Because I think you'll be interested by the reaction, by the story, if you guess, or if I tell you.
Okay.
Would you like to know?
Yes.
It's in the news because allegedly, according to the, I believe, Home Secretary, it's a shithole.
Huh.
He is alleged to have said.
Is that what he said about the Labour MP?
Well, no. Originally, it was in response to. He's saying it was about the Labour MP, but actually, the initial story was that he had said it about Stockton North in response to why are so many of my constituents living in poverty or whatever it was, and the response was because it's a shithole. Not the official response, not the government line, of course.
No.
But he is alleged to have said because it's a shithole.
Well,
I've never been to Stockton, so I don't know, but I'm assuming it probably is a shithole.
Well, you know why it's a shithole, isn't it?
It's in England.
Because they're all living in poverty.
Oh yeah. If you're too busy having to,
they're not living in poverty because it's a shithole. It's a shithole because they're living in poverty.
So yeah, no, that was one of my conversation points. I wanted to see if you had A, guessed it, and B, had heard.
Well,
because it's like, have you heard about the new shithole in town? Coming soon to a Stockton near you.
all the kids are talking about it. Come here.
Oh, I've managed to destroy one of these big balls. I've managed to destroy the other one. The big balls have been destroyed.
That can be your first caption theme.
No. So yeah, that's gonna looks like it's going to go well. They're optimistic and eager. So they're gonna
Optimistic and eager for what?
to take some pics.
Oh. Well, there you go.
So there we have it.
Yes.
So yeah, Stockton North. Would you like to move on to one of your other topics? Seeing as mine was.
Yeah, 1 second. Captain's been
Yeah,
not
we've got
just the
plenty
only
of
one,
time.
and it seems everyone else is doing the same. Dr. Neil, that's a Sam Neill reference. The Morpheus. That isn't. That's
Lawrence Fishburne, who was in it.
Oh yes. What is the name of the
ship?
Yeah.
It's called. Is it not the Event Horizon?
No, it's a black hole thing.
Well, I know it's a black hole thing. Also, another one of my caption titles.
Oh yeah. You know who's in that movie?
Recently I did look at who was in that movie, but I can't remember why.
Sean Pertwee.
No, I've never...
I really like Sean Pertwee, and Jason Isaacs is in it. Sean Pertwee is criminally fucking underused.
Tell you what else is criminally underused.
I just say it.
Your penis.
Oh well, I suppose that's a compliment in a sense, isn't it?
Yeah, I want you to get more.
Okay.
Get some.
Oh, well, okay.
At my request, Ben. Next time you get some, I want you to be remembering. Jordan wanted this.
Do it for Jordan.
Give them one for me.
Okay. We had some sad news.
Did we?
Recently.
Who's we?
Well, I guess. Well, not me personally, but I suppose there was some news which saddened me.
Oh, okay.
Now a while ago I mentioned Jimmy Carter.
Oh yeah.
He was a U.S. president, and though he may not have been the best president, he was well regarded as a decent man, and he probably had the most successful post-presidency of any president.
Well, an honourable man.
He's been in hospice care for like a good few months now, and his wife entered a few days ago, Rosalind, and she sadly passed away.
So he's also left hospice care.
Yes. But, I honestly hope Jimmy Carter dies soon, because that would have been a real fucking blow. When they met?
No.
Well, they met shortly after she was born.
Oh.
Because he
well,
was.
That's not creepy at all.
No, it's not. He was a little baby too. His mum was Rosalind Carter's mother was a family friend of Jimmy Carter's parents. And they took him to see the new baby. So he had known her entire life. And they were married for 77 years.
Christ, I can't even imagine living that long.
That's longer than most people live. I was going to say, yeah, it really is quite something, and it must be pretty fucking devastating for him. So I can't imagine he'll be here too much longer. And frankly, I sort of hope he doesn't for his sake, and I want it to be over for him soon. He's done more than enough, and he deserves some peace. But
bless him.
Yes, we had.
Yeah, I decided not to put that on my topic list. I figured it would be on yours.
Yes, Rosalind Carter did a great deal of work for mental health, anxiety, and so both of them were very decent people, and very well thought of. So, if he does die soon, we will get our first ever presidential double funeral.
Not because her and him?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I was thinking, who's the other president?
Yes.
What are you planning, Ben?
Yes.
I know Kennedy's anniversary's just been, but
Yeah.
try and avoid another one, please. Thank you.
Well, we had another death that won't have necessarily crossed your mind. An actor I was very fond of, Joss Ackland.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he died. He was in Citizen X, one of my favourite films of all time, and he was in one of my favourite Midsummer Murder episodes of all time because, of course,
You
he
and those
was.
bloody Midsummer Murders.
um, yes, he was like 96 or something, but he.
That's an honourable age.
I want to read this. He had 7 children,
Scoliosis.
seven,
7 children? Fucking hell.
30 grandchildren,
Fucking hell. I
and
don't even think I've done it 30 times, let alone.
and 33 great grandchildren.
I have done it more than 30 times. I'll just
Okay,
joke.
31. But he had a
Yeah, right. It's more.
yeah.
I didn't say how many more, did I?
He had a big old family, Joss Ackland, and I'm sure you've seen him in something. He's a very recognisable face and voice. He sort of
Yeah, you see.
but
Probably.
yes, he was an actor I really rather liked in what I saw him in.
Fair enough.
So yeah, those were 2 deaths that stuck out to me this week.
From deaf to a form of undeaf now.
Oh, okay, good segue.
Well, thank you. I have started listening to the audiobook for Dracula.
Ah,
Now, the reason I've only started as opposed to finished is because A, it's 18 hours long to listen to, and all the chapter lengths, as per how Audible has broken it up, are over an hour long. And like I was saying about your videos,
Yeah.
because they're quite long, I need to commit to a certain amount of time. I can't get into bed and commit to an hour because I might fall asleep after half an hour. Whereas I can commit to staying up for half hour because it's only a half hour, right? So
Yeah.
my progress has been quite slow.
Well, how are you finding it?
Slow.
Okay.
I mean, the whole. Have you read it before?
No.
The first chapter or two, as per how it's been set out by Audible, so I think it's like the first 4 chapters, are diary entries.
Yes,
Of Jonathan Harker.
It's not an Episcopalian novel. It's an epistolary, and I really want to write something in that style because it's made up of diary entries and letters and like reports and stuff like that. And I think that's a fascinating way to write something.
Yeah, we've had a few diary entries and a few letters of exchange
Yes.
and shit like that. And I'll be honest with you, the tonal shift between from the diary entries to the letters threw me off a little bit. Also, the fact that they changed the voice of the person reading it out threw me off a little bit because they went from being a man doing an impression of Dracula as well as being Jonathan Harker or whatever his name is, to 2 women in the space of like 30 seconds. I was like, hang on, what the hell's going on here? What's happened? Why are we in Whitby?
Well, Dracula. Yeah. Well, I was at uni. I did a module called Vampires, Werewolves, and Social Anxiety.
Okay.
And we looked at Dracula, and when you think about it, Dracula is sort of the xenophobic Englishman's fear of foreigners.
I'm just gonna level with you just for a very brief moment. What did you say that course was called?
Vampires, Werewolves, and Social Anxiety.
That does sound very much like a very I believe the term is queer coded course for people on the rainbow spectrum to get to know one another. That doesn't seem like that seems like a very specifically LGBT friendly course.
No, not particularly.
No, but you understand where I'm coming from.
Yeah, I suppose. But yes, I mean it was one of the doctors incidentally is called Dr. Sam Neill, so it wasn't just Neil.
Oh, you've seen his his little.
And it was mentioned in one of the report things as well. But I'm
proud of us getting all these references.
Yes, I think like he's a guy with a really thick accent, and he has strange customs, and he's come into our country to prey on our women.
Yeah. Pretty much. and he wants to hang out in the countryside. How dare he? Bringing his soil over here.
Yes.
What's wrong with our soil?
Proper English soil. All that filthy foreign muck.
Literally. Back when I was a lad, we'd never had such nonsense.
No. We had proper dirt and we liked it.
Yeah,
Nasty,
dirty dirt.
namby-pamby,
Yeah.
Transylvanian muck.
Ah. So anyway, yeah, Dracula. Hey, it seems alright so far. Obviously, the proof is in the pudding, but I felt like going for something a bit more. It feels more highbrow than the Star Wars novels I was listening to.
Yeah. Well, I'm reading my conspiracy book still at
Still?
present. Yeah. Well, I'm getting through it. I did forget it on Monday instantly, along with my headphones, which was annoying.
Oh, I bet you were screwed.
It was annoying.
I've got something coming down to you in the elevator. There you go.
Thank you for the mess.
You're welcome. I think that's everything that's from up here done. All of it.
Okay.
I don't know. I might die now. I didn't die. I landed on top of a spinny thing. I thought I was going to die. Anyway, carry on.
Yes.
He's burning it all.
Yeah. And I did say I'd talk about the I mentioned the Yorkshire Ripper.
Yes, you did.
Theory, I think. This is the theory that there was more than one Yorkshire Ripper because the bloods were different. No, I got to that chapter and it was okay. It was kind of interesting. Basically, I've never heard that until I read that book, and I've consumed a fair amount of Yorkshire Ripper stuff. But there's
I wouldn't phrase it like that, I don't think.
There's a book that actually posits. It names someone who they think was actually the guy responsible for the bulk of the murders.
His name is Jeff?
No, it was William. William something? No.
William Morris.
No, it was William something. I can't remember. Oh fuck it! I'm gonna have to look this up, aren't I?
William Engelbert.
No.
I'm just throwing out names until you come up with it. William Williamson.
No.
His father was ironically called William Williamstead.
The real.
How was your Chinese tonight?
Fine. William Tracy.
Oh, I'd never guessed that.
No.
Not unless we were talking about members of the Thunderbirds.
No. Yeah, it suggests that he did the bulk of them. And
okay. Well, someone's got to do the heavy lifting, haven't they?
It's interesting that apparently George Oldfield, who was the head of the inquiry, basically confirmed that yeah, we're pretty sure there's two at one point. Somebody else said like the bloods prove there's more than two or more than one, and everything won't go anywhere. I mean, the West Yorkshire Police that they handled that really badly, but a lot of it was the fact that the system just couldn't cope with that much information. They had so much paperwork, they had to reinforce the floors of the police station because it was beginning to buckle under the weight.
Jesus.
There was so much shit, millions and millions and millions of pages of paperwork.
British building, everyone.
They couldn't fucking get through it. And there's other problems as well. There's a good series on Netflix which sort of goes into it. And I liked the shadow, the long shadow, the ITV thing. That was good. But I wouldn't be surprised if there was, because they sort of wanted to move on from that as quickly as possible, and they weren't going to look a gift horse in the mouth.
No, I suppose not.
I mean, I'd have to look a bit more at the sort of crimes committed, because
Was it you that referred to my Euro Truck Simulator 2 character as Ceta Putcliffe?
Yeah.
Putcliffe. Yeah, so I thought that was witty.
Thank you.
I showed my the lads, I showed them it, and they likened it to one of the people in the group, and I can see the connection. He does look the most like a human trafficker out of all of us.
Huh.
So.
God, that's saying something.
I know, right? But I've had a shave, so I look a lot less like a human trafficker right now.
Oh.
I look almost like a normal human being.
Oh, that's such achievement.
I know.
Yeah, I mean, I'd have to
When
think.
when are you done on doing that?
Never. Fuck no, I
Oh,
don't look like a normal human being. Have you met those guys? They're fucking idiots.
we're those guys at the moment.
What guys?
Those guys.
Oh, right. But yeah,
Those guys play.
I would
For
have
God's sake, Ben.
I would have to look at like the way the crimes were committed because I don't really like the idea of copycats. I don't think it's very realistic. I mean, they definitely exist, but on that scale, I mean, they'd probably be similar, but just sort of lumped in by the police, if you know what I mean. Like here's a
Yeah, I get you.
here's a sex worker who was murdered, and there's elements of stabbing. It's probably a ripper murder, you know. But if they're all using screwdrivers,
Ripper? I hardly even knew her.
oh god, how many times was that joke made
By who?
by the police?
Not enough times. And yet also too many.
Yes, 13 murders, and that never got old, Frank. You should do. You really should do stand up.
What stand up?
So these women aren't gonna stand up. Oh, Frank, you're such a card. He won't. That Peter say he won't stand up to questioning, will he? Will he? He won't be able to do that. Will he? Oh, Frank. Are you enjoying this,
Yeah, I'm
Charlie?
enjoying this.
Not you. Our new
No.
subscriber. What's his face?
John.
Terry? John. John Terry. John. Well, I'm sorry. We're not good at this.
I mean, it's good enough that he's decided to follow us. We are, by all evidence available to me, the least, like the smallest thing that he follows by quite a considerable margin.
And that's alright. Hey ho. Thanks for misclicking.
Yeah, I mean, it happens. I'm sure. Well, you'll 6 years from now, you'll accidentally realise that you've fucked up by following us, and we'll still not have, we'll still only have 29 followers at that point.
Yes. Hey ho.
Yeah, such is life. Did I cross out Dracula? Yes. I got some good news this week. Some news that made me genuinely happy, and that rarely happens.
Really?
I can't remember the last time I saw a news item, a national news item, and it made me happy.
Who died?
No one died. No one died. You're on the right line of thinking, though.
Who's dying?
No, not quite that close.
Who's hurt themselves? What happened?
You finally got there. Lad Baby have announced that they're not doing a Christmas song.
That was on my list too. I thought of you when I saw that. I think it's only right you should have been the one to announce it.
I have been very vocal in the past about how I feel like the Christmas number one, as wonderful as it is that they were doing stuff for charity, and I know there's some allegations about it that I'm not going to go into because I don't have any evidence.
I've heard those too.
I, at the end of the day, food banks being exposed to more publicity and getting any sort of support is a good thing.
Yes.
It's just a pity we need them. We've been over this, I believe, before.
Yeah, we did it when I was poorly in the hospital, and no mercy, didn't we?
I can't remember.
Yes, our views on charity are well established by this point.
Yeah. So anyway, so I understand that what they were doing was great, but I have always felt that the UK number one for any period of time, but especially over Christmas, seeing as that's the golden ticket, as it were, to royalties for life, should probably be a song that's actually good.
Very diplomatically put. Yes.
Call me old-fashioned,
but you like a bit of talent in your songwriters.
I do. I like some talent in my. We're gonna hear this every year for the rest of our lives.
Well, we won't though. I mean, what fucking shop is going to be playing "I Love Sausage Rolls" or whatever?
No,
fucking
you want to know something?
What?
You know what's really fucking bad? That game, that Euro Truck Simulator, I've been playing.
Oh god.
Yeah? No.
Is it in the soundtrack?
No, not quite. You can listen to online radio stations. So I put on a trucker. It's called Truckers FM, and they're quite. I mean, they're entertaining for what they're worth. They're very amateur, but you know it's going to be amateur because they're being listened to by people who are playing a fucking video game. So you know you're not expecting anything major.
Yes, they're being listened to by retired truckers trying to relive their prostitute murdering days. Go on.
Exactly. They had the fucking song on. And it's not even December, and they had it on. So don't be telling me that we're not going to be hearing this for the rest of our lives.
I don't think.
because
I don't think we. I mean, I don't think those things are going to have much staying power.
I know, but the trouble is, there's 5 of them, Ben.
So one
There's
of them.
5 of them.
Statistically, you're bound to bump into one of them.
Exactly.
One of the things that really pissed me off about that actually is when I read the news article and their official statement on the BBC website. I can't remember exactly what it said in length. But one of the things they mentioned was it's time to give somebody else a go. And I didn't
like that,
I didn't
wasn't it?
really like that because it sounded a bit, nobody else is going to stand a chance if we're here. Time to give somebody else a crack at this thing that we've earned.
Yeah,
It's like
I mean,
David Tennant standing down from Doctor Who and saying, you know what, it's time for me to go and it's time for the show to move on.
To be fair, he has played the most Doctors out of everyone now.
Yeah. Yes, he has.
Or because having played, the 11th and the 10th and the Meta Crisis Doctor and the 14th now. That is 3 different Doctors that he has played.
Yeah.
And it is someone else's turn, I think. Would you like a go?
The Doctor, yes. What would you?
I'd love to do it. I'd be shit at it, but I'd love to do it.
If you could, what would your? Well, you see, if I was playing the Doctor, I think I sort of very much agree with what Tom Baker said. That Tom Baker said that he didn't really rate his acting in general, but Doctor Who was different because he was basically playing himself.
Yeah, no, that's fair enough.
And I think that's probably what I would do.
I could play me like a fiddle.
The Doctor is me.
Oh, hang on a minute, because that's a Matt Smith line. I will always remember the time when the Doctor was me. It's one of his last lines as the Doctor.
Yes.
Because it's like, they always do this big dramatic speech, don't they? Although, to be fair, David Tennant didn't. He just said, I don't want to go.
Tom Baker.
But he didn't go.
Tom Baker fell off like a ladder, a pylon or something.
Yeah,
Tom Baker went.
Really dramatic.
Yes, and there were 3 actors watching, and they each watched him fall at a different speed. Like one of them, he plummets right to the ground, and one of them is a little bit slower. It's very, very amusing. But yes, yeah, I agree. I just thought it was very juvenile. I try to avoid that stuff. I just think it's just the dumbest fucking people in the world think that's funny. Just the most insufferable fucking people.
No, sorry, say that again.
Just the most insufferable fucking people.
Who are?
And who enjoy that stuff.
Oh, yeah, no. Fair enough. No, what stuff? Doctor Who or the Christmas stuff?
The Lad Baby stuff.
Okay, sorry, because we went on to Doctor Who briefly, didn't we? And I'm just trying to...
Sorry.
The people who enjoy watching Tom Baker fall from ladders. What's going on?
I love Tom Baker.
I haven't seen enough of his stuff.
He was very...
I don't want to see his stuff, if you know what I mean.
He's good at anecdotes. He had one that he told about how an elderly woman approached him when he was out walking, and she said, "Oh, I think I know you. Were you on the telly?" And he said, "Oh, well, yes. As a matter of fact, your grandchildren might know me. I was in Doctor Who." He said, "Oh, yes, I knew you must have been someone famous. You see, when I saw you, my titties started to tingle." and he said, "I'd like to put that on my gravestone. Here lies Tom Baker. He made titties tingle."
That is, that would be a wonderful thing to have on your gravestone.
Yeah. Yes, I think yes, and I love that Tom Baker had that because he was basically told he was worthless as a child, and he tried to become a priest, but he wasn't much good at it, and
Well, I mean, who is?
Well, yes. Then he found Doctor Who, and I don't.
Oh, well done, you pillock.
Shut up. And
you cretin.
And he becomes beloved by children everywhere. He's a very popular figure, and that's why he stayed so long. Because after feeling he was worthless for so long, he had that.
Yeah.
And yes, it's not
what
for nothing.
What have you got, Ben?
What?
What have you got?
I don't know. I do all right.
Good. That's what matters.
What have you got?
Spreadsheets. Fucking spreadsheets that work and people know how to use because I
Well,
make them so user fucking friendly.
your former colleague, who now has joined the Rebel Alliance, has said
Oh, as if I'm the Empire.
has said that you were a whiz with spreadsheets. An absolute
That
whiz.
is two people referred to me as a wizard with spreadsheets this week. That is one of them. Oh, Jordan, you fucking cretin.
Oh, I've got a giblet. Fuck off, giblet.
Gib.
Um,
Do you really want to mop everything?
what?
How long have we been going? Do you really want to mop everywhere?
No, of course I fucking don't. We've never done that.
Oh, exactly, but we're getting to that point now where we need to start thinking about mopping upstairs if we're going to carry on.
53 minutes.
Okay,
So we'll
is
go
that
for a
too
little
short
while
for you,
longer. We'll go for a little while longer.
Well, you best help me mop then.
What the fuck was I doing?
No, but we've got to go upstairs though soon.
Well, we don't have to finish it. We'll just keep going until I say.
All right, but the thing is, you sound just like Jeff.
Who?
I don't know. It's the first name that came to mind. It implied that it was going to be about something rude, but I don't know any Jeffs personally. Not anymore, anyway. I knew one Jeff once.
Right. Well, you fucking folded on that, didn't you? Jesus.
Who's Jesus? Jesus?
Ah. What were we talking about? Oh, yeah, Tom Baker. Yes.
Yeah, Tom Baker.
Yes. It's much loved.
He
will be much missed when he goes.
Have you seen one of his other forms, Tom Butcher?
What?
Or Tom Candlestick Maker?
Oh, I see. It was a funny joke. Well, it was a joke.
I wouldn't have gone so far as to say funny, no.
Fetch a
I'm
bucket.
not entirely sure it was a joke.
Be a love and fetch a bucket, will you?
Oh, all right. There's a hole in our bucket, our bucket, our bucket. There's a hole in it. There's a bucket.
Did I do another? I've done that one. Done that one.
Are you crossing them off?
No, I've done that one. I've done that one. I've done that one. Got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 left.
Is that it?
How many you got?
9.
Right. Well, let's have some of yours.
Still one of mine then. Can we? I know you're not going to want to, but can we talk about the Las Vegas Formula One race that took place over the weekend? Weekend just gone.
I don't want to.
Tough. We're going to do it anyway.
I saw some memes that I didn't understand. I did think about sending you one, but
I would have probably got it. What meme did you see?
something about like potholes. I think people are pissed off about it.
Yeah. So what happened? This is probably the biggest controversy of the weekend, and there's a few controversies I would say, but the biggest one is a drain on the track hadn't been properly secured to the point that when a car drove over it, it ripped it out of the ground into the car and damaged it to the point of it needing serious repairs. We're talking replacement engine parts that you normally have a limit on during the season. No, not the driver's fault. They drove on the track and the track was not fit for purpose. Because they had to do the repairs that they did, the driver got a 10-place grid penalty following qualification.
10? That's a bit harsh, isn't it?
Yes, especially when you consider they qualified second and therefore started in 12th. Right? That's a fuck up. That is a rules issue.
I'll say I haven't seen such an egregious rules issue since 1998, when that Dutch chap, you know the one,
Did the thing.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly. So we're talking serious shit here.
I have no idea what you're talking.
No, it's a
Please
big
continue.
deal. Though. It's a big deal because what we're saying is, okay, fine, we know this is ridiculous, but we're going to enforce this stupid rule anyway. And that's what they basically did. Is we don't have anything in place to not follow this rule. We have to follow this rule because we can't not follow it. It's basically their defence when everyone criticised it. Apart from apparently Mercedes, but I don't know how true that is. And the only reason Mercedes didn't, apparently, allegedly, is because like the driver who had the incident drives for Ferrari, and they are currently second with like 4 points more than Mercedes. So like anything that helps Mercedes catch up with them is good for Mercedes, right?
Yeah. I guess.
So yeah, that was an issue. The other big controversy, as far as I'm concerned, is that of 5 second penalties. Now, what would you imagine?
What does
a
this
five
have to
second...
do with Vegas? Can I ask?
It took place in Vegas.
Right, my
That's where the
understanding was that the fact it took place in Vegas was controversial in and of itself.
yeah. There's another yeah. People were not happy about the work that had been done to stop non-ticket holders from watching the race.
Right.
To the point of people were riding up and down escalators all day. Well, not all day, but for a couple of hours, so that they could watch the race from the escalators because you happen to get a decent view of one of the corners.
Hmm.
So just shit like that, and they'd put like yellow tape over the top of the walkways they're like public walkways. And they put white tape over it so you can't properly see through, but you can still sort of see through, but it's not very good.
Is that a fresh
But
bucket?
people were not
That's
happy.
a fresh bucket.
One of them will be. So yeah, they've basically fucked with the locals of Las Vegas and the tourists of Las Vegas. Some of the tickets, I've seen video that is not verified of people who reckon that they have paid $6,000 for tickets, and then their entire view of a track is blocked by lighting rigs, so they can't actually see the track without looking through like the metal that holds the metal frame of the lighting.
Hmm.
Which is that's a shitty situation if that's true. I don't know how true. Like I say, it's unverified, but like $6,000 for that is not worth it. No matter how fucking, I don't care what bonuses you get. You pay to watch Formula One. You want to see the Formula One, right?
Hmm.
I wouldn't pay to I wouldn't go to a strip club, pay to be there, and not want to see some titties.
I never
Right?
understood strip clubs really.
No, it's not really for me.
All you're doing is you're paying someone to give you an erection, and an erection in public is just an issue. It's like, oh, thank you. Are you going to do anything about this? No, right,
No.
Okay. I guess I'll
But
sort
I
it.
know.
Thank you for this thing I now have to deal with.
This unfortunate obligation.
Mm.
So no, yeah, it was controversial when it was there. It went past the sphere.
Oh yes.
Which had been lit up in various colours throughout the course of the race, and all the memes about the sphere. But no, the 5 second penalty. What do you imagine, but from a name, a 5 second penalty is?
You get a penalty of 5 seconds if you do a specific thing. I would imagine.
It's not necessarily a specific thing. It's their low level misbehaviour. It's their misdemeanor punishment. So if you do something that doesn't warrant like a massive punishment, they give you a 5 second penalty. You serve that by either when you next pit stop, you're having to wait 5 seconds before they can touch your car, which is one way, or alternatively they make it so that it adds if you haven't got to serve another pit stop, because you have to do at least one per race. If you haven't got to do one, they add 5 seconds to your time at the end. And that potentially means that you lose space because you were less than 5 seconds ahead of whoever's behind you.
Someone called Captain Grinder.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Captain Grinder or Grinder.
What about them?
It's probably Grinder. I got their tag. I just thought it was funny. I thought you would like.
Sorry, I thought you were talking about connected to the Formula One thing. I thought, how does that work? What have you heard that I haven't? But no, this 5 second penalty thing. Max Verstappen, who is the current champion, has been for now 3 years. This is his third year. Had a 5 second penalty for overtaking outside of track limits. So he went off the track to overtake someone. Also forced someone off the track, the same person off the track in the process. So like it was absolutely an illegal move. On the first corner of the race, refused to give the space back, got a 5 second penalty, served it, and it didn't really hinder him at all because like 5 second penalties don't do anything. And for most of the season, he's been like half a minute ahead by the end of the race.
Oh, so he's got time to burn, really.
He's absolutely. There's a radio message of him saying, "Give my thanks to them" or "Give my regards to them" or something.
Yes, I suppose it's like the old thing that if the punishment for a crime is a fine, then it doesn't exist for the rich.
Yeah, like he absolutely hasn't. It doesn't matter to him if he has a 5 second penalty, and people are kicking off about it and complaining about it. I don't know how big a issue it is, but it's something that needs addressing because it doesn't really do the job.
It should, well, I mean, much like the fine thing, it should probably be in accordance with how much time they have. It should be a percentage thing, perhaps, or a 0.25% of your time will be added.
Well, I firmly believe that they need to bring back proper use of stop
Corporal
go
punishment.
penalties.
Ah.
Proper proper stop go penalties where you have to come in and stop for however long, but you can't have any work done to the cars, which means it doesn't count as a pit stop.
Mm.
Hang on, Philip, do your mopping now, because I turned the gravity off.
Yeah, I know. I went for a float.
Okay, so what I'll do is I'll hold the bucket while you mop. Where are you? I've lost you.
I'm
Oh,
here.
there you are. I lost the water. I accidentally clicked one of these spiky things, which is absolutely dangerous.
Yeah, I was thinking this is not a good aesthetic. Well, no, it's a cracking aesthetic. It's just not. Maybe it's the shape, like funnels energy or something. I don't know.
Whatever it is, the spikes are concerning.
Hmm.
I'm gonna eject these buckets before there's a problem. I like watching everything fly out, especially when it gets ever so slightly stuck in the door. So yeah, the race. I mean, I missed the first half hour because I'd set an alarm for 5:30 in the morning. The race started at 6. I fell asleep again after my alarm. I woke up at 6:30. So I missed about half an hour. The most eventful half hour as well. Although we did have a few good overtakes towards the end. One particular driver was, it seems, caught napping. Not actually literally napping, but he had a better car and he just got overtaken by someone who shouldn't have really overtaken him because he obviously wasn't paying enough attention. So that was fun to watch. I do enjoy watching it. There's only one race left now this year. No, Ben, don't do it.
I'm sorry.
Take me with you.
I can't abide your fucking Formula One talk anymore.
I was finished. No.
I had
And the bucket fell over.
Oh.
Right, I guess that means that. Thanks for joining us, everyone.
You want to call it?
I mean, I'm happy to call it if you are. Let's go see how shit a job we've done.
I mean,
I want to know just how badly we've cleaned up. I mean, we got rid of everything, didn't we?
Well, probably.
I don't care. I'm done.
Okay, should we die together, or do you? Fuck going to the okay.
We need to go to the office. Oh, I'm not in the office tomorrow, and that feels lovely.
Me neither. And my therapist had to cancel on me. I keep missing his fucking emails because I hardly ever check them. We keep getting fired, but I think we're doing all right.
Job conclusion. Oh, apparently I'm age 17. I didn't realise I was that young. Where's our 17%? That is our highest ranking yet.
That's not bad. If I had 17% of the world's population's net worth, I'd be a pretty happy bunny.
I mean, a lot of people are in debt.
I'd like to choose the 17%.
Isn't there something about how if you have like no debt, you're automatically wealthier than about half of Americans or something?
Oh yeah, something like if you can afford 3 meals a day, or if you're in a fridge or something like that, your net worth is. So really, in a sense, we're among the richest people in the world because of all the Indians. Sorry, India. Yeah. Well.
So yes. On that note.
Yes, we hope you enjoyed this, Josh. What's his name? Dick.
John.
John.
Don't call him a dick. Jesus Christ, man.
I thought Tracy, but that was the other Yorkshire Ripper, allegedly. Huh.
You can't see me because I'm a ghost. But worker slips on blood, bleeds. Tragedy struck on Monday morning when Dr. A. Gribbler was caught unaware by a small patch of blood from one of his former colleagues. The blood remains unidentified, but the cause of the accident is clear: failure on the part of the janitorial workforce. An inquiry has been launched to discover who is responsible for the poorly sanitised facility. Alien invasion notwithstanding, heads will roll.
Well,
on that note, so go on.
Good night.
Oh, no.
Well, I was going to
Say
say,
it.
did I mention my in this video that my memoir arrived?
No,
Was
we'll do it next one.
okay. Well, I guess. Well, I mean,
Look forward to that, John.
I was gonna read a short passage.
Oh, I mean, if you want to, feel free.
Pick a random page.
Hang on. Would you rather do that now, or would you rather do that when I'm walking the streets as a detective?
I'll do it next time.
Okay.
Bye, James. What was it John?
John!
Bye,
He was
John.
shit at this. Bye, John.
Bye.
See you later.
We won't.
He won't. He's not coming back.
No, of course he fucking isn't. We always have Keith though.
Oh, Keith's dead.
Only inside. Bye.
Bye.